You elevate a my brother's my brother's for a living. From my perspective, gay is not right. It's not
Well, people still saying that they don't trust you.
They don't trust me, but that's on them. They've got to look past that. It's like people keep on accusing Michael Jackson for stuff. I feel like I'm getting accused for stuff that it didn't even happen. Getting help for it. So, like, don't take it the wrong way.
Look, Applehead, you don't want to be playing with me now. I'm not in a good mind space.
The word to use is
Well, I've gone viral for the wrong reasons.
Hello everyone, my name is KingOfLove97, and today I'm introducing you all to Not So Smooth Criminals, or, as I personally like to call it, Diet Content Cop. And if you thought last week's video was controversial, just wait till this one. Last week I talked a lot about the community and how we all need to stick together and stuff like that, and I still believe that, everything I say still stands, but I also talked a lot about weeds that exist, that are hiding among us and making us all act the way we do. So this series is kind of calling those people out, bringing them to the public eye. Again, my opinion, but today's episode is about KingOfLove97, and if you don't know who this guy is, buckle up. KingOfLove97 is a very popular Michael Jackson fan account on Instagram with over 15,000 followers.
Applehead, you're always in my heart.
And if this name kind of sounds familiar, that's because Michael Trapson posted about him, who's been doing some great stuff in this same area. It was a video clip taken from an Instagram story of Joel, King of Love, talking about what his favorite word to use is.
my favorite word to use is.
And the response that Joel gave was to turn his account private. The best way to avoid criticism on the internet.
Because I don't want people talking if they want to come to me, message me.
If they're going to you just might as well just take the heat. Because the thing is
that's
this.
exactly what I'm doing. Isn't that what it looks like?
And this isn't the only thing he said, but nonetheless, I'm going to get into all that. But before we do that, I feel like you need some background with King of Love, aka Joel, because I've known of him for a long time, and I know he's gotten away with this stuff for a long time. I never knew to this caliber, but people like this are hiding all around, and we need to talk about some of them.
Favorite word to use is
background.
How about you?
I've known who Joel is for a while, actually. A lot of people have sent his account my way, but I think the first time I saw him was in an Instagram Explorer page, and immediately I knew he was sketchy. When you click on the account, there's a lot of videos of him pretending to be Michael with his voice impression.
Applehead, you're always in my heart, and I love you so much.
But the fandom first heard of him after Pearl Jr. put a video clip of him in her documentary, where he, as Michael says, "Happy 2018 to all my friends."
It's now 2018.
Because if you don't know Joel, you don't know that he is a very good impression of Michael Jackson. I'll give credit where credit is due. But, funnily enough, that leads us into our first point. His voice impression of Michael is really good. And he uses that as like a tool of self-defense. Whenever somebody goes to him and tries to criticize a thing that he's done, say the N-word or use other slurs, he sends them a voice memo of Michael, as Michael, trying to tell them not to mess with him.
Look, Applehead, you don't want to be playing with me now. I'm not in a good mind space.
But, I'm sorry, Joel. If Michael Jackson came to me and told me, I'm going to burn your house down, I'd be like, okay. Another thing that Joel likes to do is that there's a bunch of pictures of Michael Jackson impersonators that he puts his name on to make it look like it's him. Dude, we've seen your Instagram lives. We know you look nothing like that.
I love you so much.
And I'm sure if Joel tried to counteract that statement, he'd say that the Facebook accounts aren't him because they're under another name. But dude, you don't have enough clout in this community for people to make fake pages about you. Don't even try. But then again, that's my allegation. Feel free to put whatever evidence you want towards it. I called Joel a Michael Jackson fan earlier on. but really he's dead set on removing his name from this community.
Honey, I don't consider myself as part of the fandom.
A little off-putting, I know, but dude, if you don't want to be a part of this community, I recommend changing your username and profile picture and taking those pictures off the wall. I honestly think this dude is a fan, because nobody's going to pay $20 for pictures of somebody that you hate, but I feel like he's trying to be edgy and act cool for the camera, because in the same video where he says what his favorite word is, he turns around to his pictures and starts to talk to them.
You look ugly as You look ugly as man.
It's June 25th in my country. I love you so much, Michael.
You look ugly as He was all okay. He was okay around that era to that era, but that era there, remember the time? He looked disgusting.
I don't know. I mean, he'll probably say he's playing a character or something like that, but I just think he's trying to be edgy, and it's not working out very well. Joel is not a stranger to using words that would offend a lot of people.
My favourite word to use is...
This dude's more iDubbbz than I'll ever be. But as I mentioned earlier, this isn't the first time he's said this word specifically or other things that are similar.
My brother's for a living. From my perspective, gay is not right. It's not
And so I should mention that these are all from like a year ago, maybe less. And so these have all started to gain traction now. And so he did one interview, Joel did, just 2 weeks ago with another Michael Jackson YouTuber that you all may know called Ivy King Jackson, who's really cool and is letting me use some of her interview with Joel. I'm not going to play it all, obviously, so this is an edited for time version, but you can hear what he has to say. If you want to see the full interview, the link's down below. Once again, thank you for Ivy for letting me use this clip, but keep in mind that there are multiple excuses for this same video.
Hello?
Yo, what's up?
Hi, I'm just at the store quickly. I'm just about to go home in a minute. So I just called, come on, just to let you know that I'm not trying to get away. The things I know, I know I'm confronting to it is not because I've been confronted about it, it's because I knew that stuff was wrong. And it was in the past what I actually did. Like I was saying, I'm apologizing for it. And the stuff has just been twisted and manipulated to beyond what I can possibly say. I am really sorry. And then there will be a video coming up on the apology, and it will all come up because I'm defending Casanova. Because I personally think that Cass is innocent. He's just been, misjudged. Guys, don't take it to heart. Anything that I was saying, it's just because I was in a really bad headspace of what the hell I was going on with. So don't take it to heart, because I'm going through things at the moment and getting help for it. So
are you sure that's all you can think of at this moment?
Well, at the moment, because I'm literally just shopping, just about to go home, so I can literally talk to you properly, so I can rejoin your live. But yeah, guys, I'm letting you guys know just to put the past behind, because everyone spills up, and I know that it was a big mistake.
Well, people still saying that they don't trust you.
They don't trust me, but that's on them. They've got to look past that. There's a lot of people I don't trust, but I've got to put up with them and trust them, because I'm not going to be dwelling on the past and thinking about what the hell they've done, because it's time to move on. It's like people keep on accusing Michael Jackson for stuff. I feel like I'm getting accused for stuff that it didn't even happen.
But,
with the videos.
Once again, we're not talking about Michael. We're talking about you.
Well, it's for a figure of speech. That's what I'm saying.
I know it's a figure of speech, but like I said, that's the thing.
That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm getting accused, and people just won't accept the fact that I've apologized. I've apologized. That's it. That's the end of story.
I get what you're saying, but like I said before, I don't like when people keep using the excuse of using Michael about their apology. I'm just saying we're only talking about you.
Okay, Ivy, I'm just gonna go home now. So can I rejoin your live in about 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's cool. I'll still be here.
Okay, thank you. I'll send a request shortly, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Camille, what is he doing? I don't know if it came across in that video, but Ivy was treating Joel very, very unbiasedly and very nice, and I applaud her for being able to interview him like that. And so in that whole video, he says, I'm gonna come back, and then he never comes back and blocks her, and then pretends to be somebody else and harass her on her Instagram page. That is an allegation, but there's some facts to back it up, Joel. And so I don't know what this dude's trying to get at. He's making it a lot worse for himself for trying to, like, push off the attention, trying to be edgy, but dude. And I guess he forgot that before this live stream, he did a private phone call with Ivy talking about things. But when Ivy said some sort of joke, he said, oh, I don't care if you record this. Which, under federal law, gives Ivy permission to record this and me permission to play this. So I'd like to thank Ivy once again for giving me this phone call footage. And Joel, you really shouldn't have said that.
What needs to stop?
I specifically said that it's recent stuff that you specifically what you just said to other fans. And you think it's funny.
Because they get up and they talk shit. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, Apple here, I love you so much. I'm going to be like that. I'm going to be talking to them. They treat me like shit. I'll treat them like shit. That's how I don't care what.
You know the reason why?
To say.
You know the reason why? Because you're giving out bad negative energy. So the same energy that you're giving out, you're going to get that same energy back. Those same bullets that you shooting out, you're getting those bullets right back at you. Nobody's not going to sit over and be nice to you like that. It's what you. It's basically what I'm saying is that if you give someone respect, they're going to give respect right back at you. It's how the way you go out in certain situations.
They're like. The thing is, it's funny that they're literally little Michael Jackson fans that fantasize over him. And do you think their opinion's gonna, like, stop me? They're little fangirls.
And it's little fanboys that's out there too, sweetheart, because you're not the only one.
If I want my opinion heard, I would definitely let it be heard. Exactly what's happened with him. And yes, people are gonna be hating with their little fan pages. They're like, oh my god, why the hell did you come from him? Like, because that's how I go. That's how I am. And with this N-word stuff, yes, like I said, I'll say it again. I'm sorry for it. But that was years ago. I know. But you can't go past it. You can never go past it because it's a bad word. So, like I said, I'm sorry, but you know.
Look, you can say you're sorry a million times, but at the end of the day,
to get it through people who are so back.
Listen, the best way for you to sit up and do that, you need to man up and put on your big boy drawers on, make a video, and apologize. That's it.
I've already done that on lives before. But people will be like, oh, that is not... You can see...
Well, do it again. Do it again. And not only that...
How many times?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fair, but, you know, don't... The brown people are gonna stop.
Boy, have you lost your mind? Cause I'll help you find it.
I'm not being racist. It's like,
dude,
stop saying well.
It doesn't. Yeah, you called your brother. I'm not even gonna say and use the word, but you called your brother. You called your brother the F word.
Brother.
And I don't use the F word in my vocabulary, but you stood up and told him said that, and that's supposed to be your brother, and that's very disrespectful, man.
He calls me out. We say it as a joke. You're not in the gauge.
It doesn't matter.
The public doesn't constantly need to know what is KingOfLove97 saying now. What I'm saying is that song the Michael Jackson fans. I'm not talking about the stuff that's happened. If the Michael Jackson fans want to be so sensitive and they want stuff sugar-coated all the time, that's on them. They need to harden up. That's okay. And that's when I have other accounts just to watch what you're up to.
You got other accounts?
Yeah, I do.
Yo, that's fire, though. That's fire.
And I know that you do too, which is completely fine. You know,
okay. If you sit up and saying all Instagram private, is it because you didn't want to take the heat? Let's be real.
No,
Let's be real.
It's because I don't want people running their mouth in my comments, making my account look obvious. DM me. You can. The people they're fine to DM me, but don't be writing shit on my comments saying like Don't be gutless and say it where everyone can see it. Come to me and say it to my face.
Joel, I really feel like you're making this a lot worse for yourself. I feel like if you would have just went on that live stream and been like, yeah, you know, I screwed up. I said those words. I'm getting help for it. I would have been like, man, you know, I don't think this dude's a bad guy. I feel like maybe he was in bad headspace. But when you do these interviews, the very few that you do, and you constantly come up with, oh, it was a bad headspace, oh, I was drunk, whatever, they counteract your argument and make you sound incompetent. And when you say that things have came out or they've been twisted just because you're defending E. Casanova, which if you don't know anything about that, I recommend Michael Trapson's videos. Again, that makes you look like a conspiracy theorist because it's like these screenshots or screen recordings came out a year ago. People were recording you then because they knew what you were doing was wrong, and so you just kind of need to own up to that. And honestly, he's not affected by these words that he's saying, and he's telling other people that are affected or offended to move on. And I just find that really toxic. And I don't think that's something a real king of love would or should do. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think these videos are coming out because of E. Casanova. I feel like they're coming out because you're being held accountable. And that's something that the Michael Jackson fan community is growing into, is holding people accountable and not letting people get away with stuff like this. Because that's how you've gotten away with it since 2016 or whenever you joined, is because you can say these words and nobody will care because you have a Michael Jackson profile picture. Who wants to ruin somebody's career that has a Michael Jackson profile picture? And, you know, anything that comes out now, any apology video that he'll make, you know, it's just very hard to trust it because I don't know if he'll use one of the same excuses, maybe a new one or whatever he wants to come up with. And I want to say don't fall for it. Because as much as I want Joel to change, and if he is really getting help for it, I applaud him. And that's not like a meme. I'm not going to come and cut away to a joke. If he really is getting help, I think he needs it. And I think that it's very, very good for him. But, I don't know. He's made himself so hard of an individual to trust that as much as I want to encourage him to get help, it's hard to. And so I don't want to completely write him off, but it's going to take a lot of things to change my mind about this guy. And the type of human he is. But we'll see.
There's no need for you to say you're sorry. Goodbye, I'm going home.
In conclusion, this situation is still ongoing, but I don't think I jumped the gun because I think after all the research I've done and everything I've heard from friends and colleagues of King of Love, I know what type of guy he is, and I don't see him admitting to saying these things. I don't see him stopping saying these things. I don't see him to stop telling people hold on or move on. But I hope he proves me wrong. This is the only video that I really want to be wrong about. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of DMs from Michael Jackson fan 431, aka Joel, telling me to follow their account so Joel can message me. And Joel, my DMs are open. You know, if you ever want to like actually come on the show and admit to what you've done, I'm all for that. I'd love to talk to you personally about what you've done and my thoughts on you if they're not clear enough already, but I would like to talk to you, and I think that'd be cool. But you got to come to me up front, you know. Michael Jackson fan 434 can't come up to me and be like, oh, I want to talk to you, and I click on the phone call and it's you. And you know, I've made jokes and everything, but Joel, seriously, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you are, I hope you get help. Seriously, coming to you, guy to guy, man to man, whatever. But it's up to you. It's all up to you. Where you go now, what you do, how you're received on the internet is all in your hands right now, and I hope somehow you come up with some way to make everybody you've affected with these words you're saying feel a lot better about themselves. Because you call yourself a king of love, but, you know, you're saying the F word, you're saying the N word. How is that love? And how do you have this following of 15,000 people that are just, because you have Michael Jackson in your profile picture, supporting you? And I feel like that's something all of us need to look into, Michael Jackson creators specifically. Just because we talk about Michael Jackson, that doesn't mean that we're automatically good people. So I feel like in any fan account, you know, I guess it doesn't even really matter about Michael specifically. Any fan account that you see, you should really look into their personality more of how they act before you just blindly support them because they listen to the same music you do, if that makes any sense. But I feel like we're growing, and I want to thank everybody for the response to last week's video, and that was really, really cool. You know, I didn't feel like my channel was dead anymore. But I know it said in closing like a minute ago, but my real closing remarks is whatever content creator you watch, whatever podcaster you listen to, hold us accountable and then see if you want to support us. Shane Doth.